Architect Hugh Fraser is known for his innovative work with technology in design, his sustainable architectural approach, and the use of concrete as a building material.
Absolutely. Now, Hugh believes that building should not exist in a vacuum, but instead serve as a mirror that reflects how people live.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry about the cold.
It's okay. Mwah.
Come in, come in.
Thank you. Oh, wow, Hugh. What an incredible space. I mean, we are in the heart of Johannesburg, but this is giving a cozy cabin-like feel. What's your history as an architect?
I was born in Joburg. I've largely grown up here. I went to Wits University. I did the first part of my degree here. I did my internship in Germany and in London. A friend of mine, Roz, who had been my neighbor in 1986, and in fact is still my neighbor, she said that they had found a house and there was a piece of land in a forest, and I thought, yeah, right, a forest in Joburg. And I designed the house building in about 15 minutes. And people think that's very quick, but actually I'm an architect. I'd been an architect for 15 years at that time. So it took 15 years and 15 minutes to design the house. And it was based on the premise of two blocks, a living block, which we're standing in currently, and a bedroom block.
I'm always intrigued to find out a design philosophy. Do you have one?
I think that houses now should respond to the site and to the climate, and that they should look how they work. I have traveled obsessively to about 108 countries, so travel is always going to influence you in terms of house design and food as well, actually. I mean, that's what really opens your eye. The person that I went to Australia to see, Glenn Murcutt, had sort of revived the idea of corrugated iron concrete. I had to stick with brick and mortar because that's very much rooted in the South African tradition. And then glass, and then the roofs are corrugated iron. When I have a friend to stay, the hardy-dars walk across the roofs and they are like, who's this dude walking on the roof? Meanwhile, it's just a hardy-dar.
How does then design affect the way we live within the South African context?
You want the living rooms to be on the north to catch the sun. You generally want bedrooms to be on the east. So I think South African architects have gradually realized that. And what's interestingly enough is 90% of the world's population lives in the northern hemisphere. Only 10% of the world's population lives in the southern hemisphere. So our buildings face north and buildings in the northern hemisphere face south because you want to capture the sun.
Textures and materiality is also something that plays a huge role in the design work of an architect. What were some of those choices that you made here?
I stuck with brick and mortar because that's what we know. I used timber floors. After about 15 years, I had to take out all the timber doors and replace them with aluminium, because aluminium actually is, in the long run, it's cheaper and more recyclable. But I stuck with Saligna on the floors and some of the fittings. Meranti gets used on the window frames.
You've been able to create views of beauty, whether it's through the windows and through the doors.
I mean, this almost is like a big TV screen. And when I'm having a party, you can go and sit at the top of the lawn and you can look back into the house and it's still a TV screen because you're seeing what's going on in the house.
While my curiosity is just beaming out, having explored this space, let's continue to the rest of the home.
The kitchen.
Let's go. Oh, wow. Hugh, stepping into the space, the number one thought that comes to mind is food, glorious food. That is what it's all about when it comes to the kitchen. What's the layout here?
The stove is critical for me, gas stove. It's a big one, 900 millimeters wide and 6 tops. I'm one of 5 kids, so I'm used to mass cooking. Food is such an integral part to conviviality. Whether you're in a large family or you want to speak to people, you know, one-on-one, or people come around, the kitchen is the place to meet. Kitchens have now established themselves as a place that you've got to throw R1 million or whatever into fitted cupboards. And that was, for me, absolutely not where I wanted to go. Because it's like a workshop. You go into a workshop, you see the tools. I kept the units off the ground so that you can clean in underneath. So keep it nice and airy so you don't have to worry about things being clean. And occasionally, a change is as good as a holiday. So you wheel the unit over there, dine in or picnicking, or eat all over the house, you know, kind of, there are options. And that was the idea.
You say that change is as good as a holiday, and you certainly do love a good holiday yourself. And looking around the kitchen, I'm already seeing some trinkets that you've picked up along the way.
So the tagine is a particularly Moroccan form of cooking. I think the idea about it is the conical lid sort of preserves the heat and the taste and the moisture. And there are any number of books that come out of Morocco on that.
The tagines are definitely a statement within your kitchen, but something that the eye cannot ignore are the gorgeous African heads that are flanking your server.
I had bought them, I think in the late 80s, and they sat in my house in Troyville. And then when I acquired the land and designed the house, I was no ways were I going to leave those two light fittings behind. I knew that they were going to go there. LED lights are used predominantly in almost every form of architecture now. They use less energy, the lighting's more efficient, it's whiter as well. The table was designed by Rick Stretton from Durban. He's an architect. I've got a few pieces of his. And this runner, which is very beautiful, was done by Eugene Hearn, who's a ceramicist. And he draws very finely with a Bic pen. And he did this for his own 60th birthday. At the end of the birthday, I said, Eugene, this is so beautiful, I want one. And it's been sitting on here for 6-7 years. It's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful things often come from personal connections. And what better way to celebrate those connections than with a warm cup of coffee in front of a cozy fireplace?
We are clearly sitting in front of the fire, and this determines what happens in this space throughout the year. So June and July are the coldest periods. But the rest of the year, I want to be able to move the couches backwards and forwards, allow free flow. I mean, it's difficult to believe now, but free flow of air during the summer is what keeps it cool.
Being able to track back the experience that you've had over the decades, what are some of those career highlights that stick out?
I've taught on and off for 30 years, and I really enjoy that. In many ways, that informs the relationship that I have with the South African Institute of Architects as well, because I'm speaking to the public and to architects as well. I always said to students, as an architect, you can work until you die. As an architect, you'll have to.
So when it comes to also creating that legacy and working until you die, sometimes you create work that lives beyond your years. And you've actually been able to do that with your cousin, speaking about family, in the book Modern Wineries of South Africa.
Architecture is the most enduring record of civilization. So long after the architects have gone, the buildings are still there. And the buildings are also a remembrance of the type of culture that we were going through at any particular time. Hugh Fraser is my cousin. He's a well-known architectural photographer in Cape Town, and he came up with the idea of assembling 20 modern wine estates, because we have amongst the longest New World wineries. I think they started in 1657. During the World Cup, I was shuttling between Joburg and Cape Town. Every weekend I would go down and I would visit a wine estate. I did the architecture writing, and he and his wife Libby produced the book, and he did the photography. And it's done very well. By South African standards, it's done very well in terms of reprints.
Hugh, not only was it incredible to pick your architectural brain, but also to spend the afternoon in your space. Thank you. Cheers.
Only a pleasure. Thank you for coming.
What a beautifully designed family home, showing how planning with purpose can make for comfortable living.